Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing great. So let's see who's all in here because we already see a crowd gathered up. So hi, Charlene. Hi, Chris. Hi, Campaign Terrain and the end. Good to see you. Hi, Sophie. Hi, Questboard Terrain. And hi, Dungeon Matron. Great. So today we're going to be covering some farm-themed terrain, which we've been building up over the last couple of months. And there's some great stuff that I've seen already, some late entries that I haven't looked at yet, so this should be interesting. Now, I'm not sure which order to go for this here, because I know that some of you may not be here at the end of the stream. So I thought, okay, so Sophie, since you mentioned that you have to leave early, how about we start with yours? Would you like to join in a call, or shall you explain your stuff in the chat? Ooh. Hey, there's some awesome stuff in there. Don't know that you shared some of these on Discord already, but these are looking good. And there's a little pig, two little pigs. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think she had mentioned that this was starting for Saga. I'm not terribly familiar with the game, but the build is looking excellent. The colors are really good. Yeah, yeah. I agree, Kim, that roof is looking good. Okay, Sophie, do you want to walk us through through these builds in the chat, or would you like to join us in a Discord call? I wonder if that's teddy bear fair or stuff like that. Okay, so let's bring this up in a call. We'll have you on in a second. Hello.
Hello, good evening,
Good evening
or
to you too.
appropriate time zone greeting, I suppose.
Yeah, it's evening here right now, and but I'm pretty sure that it's morning for some people. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good, thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty good myself. So,
Can you hear me?
yep, I hear you. Can you hear me? I think we might be having some sound problems.
Yeah, I think there's a big delay on the line.
Oh, that's not good. Uh,
Uh,
so, yes, go on.
I can hear you very well, at least.
Okay, I mean, I'm hearing you loud and clear as well. So if it's just a delay, we can make it work.
All right.
Okay, so would you like to walk us through your build?
Yeah, this is my little pigsty,
Okay.
and as is usual for me, I used half the contents from my spice rack and from the garden to make all this, plus some random stuff I still had lying around. The little pigs are 3D printed,
Okay.
but the rest is all crafted from scratch. Um, what do you want to know about it?
I mean, let's start with the, for example, let's start with the roof because I see that Chris Bertain was already very fascinated by that.
Oh, thanks. Yes. The roof is fake fur, just
Okay.
synthetic fake fur, dark brown. And I made it a little bit larger than the roof of the house, so it would hang over. And then I brushed it with some thin down PVA glue to give it a little texture. And I brushed it with a little rough brush to get everything to lay the right way, because of course with fake fur it either goes straight up or it all goes in the same direction.
Okay.
And you kind of want it to flow with the roof. And with the glue you can do that, and it gets a little bit stiffer. And then when it's all dry, which takes ages, uh, I added some tints of green, some very subtle yellows, and once that was dry, I added a dry brush, just with some very light brown. And when that was dry, there's a lot of steps here, I made the moss mixture. And for me, that's a mixture of one of those slightly gritty muds you can get,
Like the
and
Valley
some
and
coffee
stuff like that.
grounds.
Coffee grounds, okay.
Sorry?
I said, you mean like something like the Valley Homads and then you add coffee grounds to that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
And some of them are a little gritty, almost like concrete like. And what I do is when I make that mixture, I mix the paints in right away to make sure it's dark green. So I don't have to go back and paint the exact moss patch, but it's got that base color already.
Okay.
And of
Nice.
course, when that's dry, add a little dry brush for some highlights, and that's it.
I also really like the look of the mud and debris around here.
Oh yeah, that's like half the contents of my garden, and some loose tea leaves. And for stuff like that, I mix some like the Vallejo texture paste,
Hmm.
and I mix in some of my own stuff. So some little fibers, some bits of dried tea of different kinds, some dry leaves that I've crunched up, and also a little bit of paint again. I've become very fond of giving things a color before I add them in. Like
Hmm.
I used to build something and then base coat it all gray or black or white and then start painting it. And I've completely stopped doing that. I just, every time I add a material, I make sure it already has a base color before I put it into the build. And I'm really happy with that.
That's interesting. I mean, I do it for ground cover usually, but I haven't taken it all the way to, every part.
Yeah, also like the little wooden slats in the building.
Hmm.
I just grab a bunch of those little wooden sticks and I throw them in some dark brown wash, a little bit of green here, a little bit of yellow there. And that makes sure you've already got some variation between the planks before you build with it. And that adds some natural variation, which I personally really like.
Okay. So,
But
so
you know, I like to build gross, decrepit, old stuff.
I mean, don't
Don't
we all?
make me build modern stuff.
But okay, so all those colors get on the wood before it's assembled into. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and tell me about these fences as well, because I'm not
Well,
not exactly
that
sure what to use there.
to no one's surprise, that's more random crap from my garden. I'm I'm not even sure what it is exactly. It's one of the neighbors' trees drops these kind of fibrous sticks, and when they're fresh, they're quite flexible. But once they've dried out, you can also, put them in some water again. They become flexible again. So what I do for these is that I glue down some barbecue skewers vertically with some hot glue.
Okay, that's the post, right?
Then I add some texture paste because it really sucks having to do that afterwards. And then I start using these stalks from the garden to kind of braid in between the verticals.
I see. Nice.
Uh, I see I'm being asked how long it took me to build this, and I honestly have no idea. There's quite a lot of hours in here, but it's been so spread out that
Y-
I have no idea.
I'm guessing stuff, especially like the drying time for the roof, would have taken quite a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't build it all at once. It was quite a bit of, getting distracted in between. Oh,
Did,
the final step for the fences that I do is that I brush it with thin down PVA with some dark brown paint.
okay.
It helps make everything just a little bit sturdy, keep everything in place, and also just give it a little dark wash.
Nice. I'm just appreciating the difference in color between these two photos. Between this one,
Y- Yeah, phone pictures, they get over sharpened and the colors are a little weird sometimes.
yeah, I mean here the color on the wooden slats really pops out.
Yeah.
Did you use some references for this, or did you just build something?
I did look up some things. I found a museum village, and I think it was
Oh,
Norway,
nice.
where they had like an early Viking age village, which they built.
All right.
And I also tried to look up some early medieval manuscripts to see like how did they house the pigs, but that was quite hard to find.
It is very specific, yeah.
Yeah,
And this is the back of the same building, yeah.
yeah. And what I did for the back of the building, I think you can tell in the picture, is that I made sure to put a little bit of hot glue under some of the planks and a lot more in others. So you get a little, some of them come out a little bit and others lay a little bit
Oh, okay,
flat,
okay,
and that
okay.
gives a little bit more texture. Yes,
That's
there are three little pigs.
that's a really good idea.
Yeah,
So just so you
if
don't
you
have a
wanna
smooth
build
wall,
weird,
yeah.
decrepit, broken stuff, it just helps to make sure it doesn't all lay flat, it's not all the same width. You can also tell I've trimmed down some of the planks, so they're a little bit narrower than others.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like, it's not like they would have come out of a factory or something like that. So that's a really good idea.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
I had a lot of fun building the pigsty. When you add the 3D printed pigs, it makes the whole thing more fun.
Yeah. So let's see. And we have this vegetable garden, which, I mean, I love the colors on this one.
Oh, it's still, I've not caught up in the video yet. What are we looking at?
The vegetable garden.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's quite small. It doesn't really work together with the other stuff I've built, but it was really fun to do. I got some of the milliput clay, which is a two-component clay, and I
Hmm.
wanted to try it out. So I made some little cabbages and some pumpkins and some flock just to get a tiny little veggie patch going.
And then the colors really look good, especially with everything else around it.
Thank you.
And let's see, we have the drying rack. Okay, this is really nice and detailed. You've got like, do you use some fabric in there or is it just paper? I'm not sure.
In the drying rack, I used two pieces of tissue paper, which are the white bits,
Hmm.
and that darker bit is just a piece of a black cotton, which I cut down to size, and I pulled out a couple of threads at the bottom there, so it looks like it's got a little fringe.
Aha, okay.
And of course, I added some paint to give it a little more interesting color than just a plain black.
What's it used
I
for
also
though?
had some fun here using sewing thread to attach the wooden beams
Ah,
together
okay, okay.
in a way which looks more or less plausible.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what you use for rope because that looks like very, it's very close to scale.
Yeah, it's just some cotton sewing thread.
Nice, all right.
Yeah, it works really easily. I mean, doing the little knots is a pain, obviously.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Uh, yes, yes. But if you use a needle to put things through the right way, and you have an idea of how you would do it at real size, it's pretty doable. And then afterwards, if you just put a little bit of wash on it, maybe a little highlight, it does add a little bit of texture, which makes me happy when I look at it.
Yeah, to be honest, I think if I had to do knots that small, I'd probably scalp them.
That's fair, but yeah, when I was with the scouts long, long, long ago on rainy days, they would make us do this sort of stuff. Because if we could go outside, we would use big wooden beams to make all sorts of stuff with big ropes, but sometimes we got locked up inside and had to do this tiny little knot making, and I hated it back then.
Okay.
Absolutely hated it. But now I quite enjoy it.
I mean, it is a challenge for sure.
Definitely.
Okay, I see that DM with a day job joined us. Hi, James. The roofs are coffee grounds. No, the roofs are synthetic fur, and the moss on the roofs, part of the moss on the roofs is coffee grounds. Is that right, Sophie?
Yeah, I'll put more of an explanation for you in the chat later.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. I mean, all this work is absolutely impressive. I love it.
Thank you.
Ooh, okay, and what do you use for that texture over there? The white stuff on the building with the train wreck?
Um, I use the same Vallejo texture paste for
Okay.
the texture. It's just kind of it's a gray one. It's a little bit gritty. And what I do is I cut out the facade of the building first. This is cardboard. I measure all the wooden bits so they can lay exactly how I want them. Like you can see, I also added a bit of variety and depth here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I spread the texture paste over the entire facade, and I push the bits of wood into it. And the texture paste is strong enough to just kind of hold it all together. And that's a way to make sure you don't have the wood laying on top of it, or have to add in the texture paste afterwards, both of which I've done before and is very painful.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've done that a few times. I mean, like putting the filler material in between those gaps, especially, you know, half timbered house where they're so tight. It's like, no.
Yes, it's terrible. And then you just get some of it on the wood, and it's a pain.
Yeah. I wonder if it would work for a half timbered house because it's like, uh,
Yeah.
I think you've got a small number of pieces here, but if you have like 30 or 40 individual pieces, that would take quite a long time. How long does the paste take to set?
Well, I think you could make it work either way because you could just do it in areas, right? If you make sure one
Yeah.
area ends kind of underneath a bit of wood and then move on to the next area, I think that would work just fine.
Okay. I'll definitely need to try that because that sounds like a brilliant idea and it saves so much time.
Yes, and especially if you get the texture paste the color you kind of want beforehand, and you get the wood the color you want beforehand. It's just assembling and adding, a bit of a dry brush, bit of grime, and it's such a painless process, really.
Okay, I'm just going to point out these planks here and how worn and decrepit they look. I mean, this is fantastic.
Thank you. I love me some decrepit.
Have you had a chance to play with these yet?
No, not yet. They are going to be used for Saga, which is early medieval setting. And well, we don't actually need this many houses, but I was having a lot of fun making them. You can tell there's some others in the background here. We have a little village already. I didn't include all the pictures, but these buildings were for the farm challenge. This is the farmhouse. We've got the pigsty and the veggie patch. The rest is also just more houses.
Yeah, and oh, by the I really have to call out the background because you just speed painted that in this afternoon. Yeah?
Yeah, I channeled my inner Bob Ross, and I grabbed a bit of cardboard and I added a backdrop, which would work with the bottle brush trees we've got. Some of those trees are actual pieces we put on the table, and the rest is the backdrop.
I mean, awesome. I mean, this has been, I mean, this is great work, and I think you dropped some real good piece of advice today. So thank you so much for that. That's a whole bunch of stuff I want to try out
Yeah,
now.
thank you for having me. I'm very curious to see if you try any of my wacky improvised garden-based improvisation methods.
I mean, definitely trying out a few of those. So yeah. And by
All
the way,
right, looking
uh,
forward to it.
before you go, you also have an excuse to keep making more houses because the next challenge after this will be cities, towns, and villages. So yeah, you can
Oh
just
yes,
knock out all the houses you want.
I'll just keep going. Thank you.
Thank you again for joining
Bye.
us, and thanks for sharing your work. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was some amazing work by Sophie. And let's see. How do we go for this? Yeah. So next up, I think Ross, you're in the chat. So would you like to join us and walk us through your pieces? I know that you've been streaming your builds for a while, and you've already explained everything there. But you know, any specifics and tips and tricks? Yeah, no pressure, Chris. No pressure. Let me just bring you on. Hang on a sec. As soon as I finish navigating this, if I have way too many windows open. There you are. Okay, just waiting on the call. I love the variety of stuff there. Hey, Cross, good to see you. How are you doing?
Good. I gotta mute. Hold on. I gotta switch.
Okay, take your time.
Hey, Chris, good to see you. How are you doing? Wow, that is a lag. Good.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
Can you just
Okay.
you
Now I
muted
am.
YouTube? Okay, perfect.
I'm gonna ignore the screen and then I'm just gonna talk to you.
Okay, so would you like to tell us about the big picture? Cross, could you mute YouTube? Okay, perfect.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, in the meantime, RPG Grandma joined us. Hi, RPG Grandma. And JJPNW, good to see you as well. So, yeah, I'm looking at the picture with all the different fields, the outhouse, and the little house in the background.
Yeah, the house is not new. I've built 23 of those for a project, and then the person backed out. So I have way too many of those laying around. So I just grabbed one and tossed it on there. But everything else is new for this. The hedges and trees are old, but everything else, the fences, I did half of a while back and half of now, and all of the hay fields and regular fields and wood piles are all new.
Nice. And yeah, I see that I think some of the fences in the background are different design from the ones in the front, yeah?
Yep, I had completely forgotten I had made them, and I found them in a box. I was like, oh, well, perfect. I will toss those on there. Yeah.
So I think, if I remember correctly, you've got a variety of plastic plants and let's see, plastic plants and fiber and stuff, yeah?
Yeah, so I've got the one with the guy standing on it in the background. That's lichen. The one in front of that is a type of long trailing plastic plant that I cut the trails into little pieces and made it look like, I don't know, cabbages or lettuce or something. The bright green ones are both plastic, and the dark green one is essentially, what's it called? Clump foliage that I made myself.
That's the one from the foam, I think, yeah?
Yes. That's
Nice.
made out of foam that came out of a chair I used to sit on. So, yeah, or maybe it's out of my friend's car seat. It's one of the two.
Either way. And can you tell us a bit about the ground itself?
The ground, the main body of the ground is a board I did in one of my very early videos. The boards that are under the crops themselves are actually a very thin doormat that already had lines on it. And I saw, Gamesmith, I think, was the one I first saw that at, and cut those into like 6-inch by 6-inch squares, and they are stuck to cardboard to give them a little more rigidity. Food card, and they they look good enough to not eat. Nice, yeah. And I'm not a huge veggie guy either. So they have been stuck down to card, and then the whole thing was painted brown so that the gray sort of looked like dirt, and I made sure to get the edges as pretty well. And they work all right. They kept wanting to curl. It took 11 days for them to dry because it's so humid where I'm at. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was fun.
Okay, we have some questions about
the what?
I said we have some questions about the fencing. Is it wooden stir sticks?
Yes, and I know the front ones. There's no stir stick on the fences. It's a type of stick that's thinner than a stir stick, both width and depth, and it's actually designed for lollipops. My housemate is a professional pastry chef and was like, "I'm not using these. You need these for something?" I'm like, "Yoink."
Okay, and what material did you use for the hay?
The hay is cut up natural fiber, hemp, sisal, something, I'm not sure. The dirt on the fences at the front is tea flock, tea leaves, post-consumer. I've already used them and then cut them out of the tea bags. And the moss on the small grass, the short grass on the front fences is sawdust flock. So that's just sawdust with paint mixed in. The little grasses are a combination of straight-ish natural fibers and also some synthetic paintbrush fibers. Each clump is one thing. I didn't mix the fibers within a clump.
Okay, but still gives you a good variety there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And the fences were tricky. So the sort of oval fence posts are chopsticks, but they were wiggly. So I had to build the fence, and then I had to stain the fence because if you glue it first, the stain won't take. Then I came back after the stain, and I have a very thin white glue dispenser, and there is a drop of glue everywhere you see pieces of wood every time where you see a slat touch an upright, there's glue on both sides of the upright. I didn't put any glue between the slats where the slats rub each other, only where they touch the uprights, but it came out really sturdy.
Nice.
The opening and closing gate was an absolute pain, and I do not suggest doing that.
Let me guess. Did you what did you use for that? Actually, rather than guessing.
It's matchstick. It's the crafting matchstick. I didn't have to cut the heads off them or anything. It's crafting matchstick for the gate. Then there's a very thin. Speaking of random stuff that Sophie is saying, yeah, the actual spindle that makes the gate work is a very thin sandwich flag. Like you would get your sandwich and it would tell you what kind, club sandwich or ham sandwich. It's very thin. It's like a toothpick, but thinner. And it's going through two little pieces of plastic cotton swab. They are attached to that upright with super glue and baking soda. And it absolutely did not want to stick to that plastic from that cotton swab shaft. So that's why there's grass right where the gate connects, because that hides all my sins.
As it should. I mean, like, yeah, absolutely. If it looks weird, hide it. It's fine.
Exactly. It's all fine. No one will know. Now, no one will know. Shh, none of y'all tell anybody. Shh.
Okay, so when we got to mine, you also did an opening and closing gate in a slightly different way. It was also a pain in the ass, and that is one of the reasons that I really don't like having movable bits in terrain.
Yeah, if I was going to do it again, I would glue like a toothpick to it and have it sit in whatever it needed to sit in at the bottom, and the top would be a metal hook, and I would drill a hole into the fence post and have it just sink in and swivel on that hook.
Okay, and Customer Terrain is asking, what is the general ground made of? I believe she's talking about the...
the general ground is sawdust flock. I go to the hardware store and I have these big creamer jars that used to have coffee creamer in them. And the bigger ones, 6 of them fit perfectly in my green reusable eco tote. So I take 6 empty jars to the hardware store. Every time I go, it's somebody new at the saw, and they're always like, "What?" And then I tell them, and I show them some pictures, and they're like, "Oh, this is great!" And then they let me have it for free. So, yeah, it's just sawdust flock, and then I mix it in a coffee grinder with paint, and done.
Nice.
I do have a video on that whole floor piece, somewhere in my early cringy days of my channel. Yeah, if you go first, I want to thank Lisa, because the crop that you see on this one where the hay's in the background, the left crop is stuff that Lisa sent me. So that's all Lisa stuff. And then the other one is cut down from a much larger type of piece. The little ones on the left are just the way they are. I just glued them down. The ones on the right are from a large viney thing, and I cut the individual pieces out, and it just immediately looks like greens. It's perfect. In one of my other videos, I used that same green and I cut it into smaller pieces, and I stuck them in little trays. I stuck them in little trays for my market stalls as like something for sale.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that video. I think you had also used the foam balls for the flute and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And now I would do it different ways, because I've been watching Sahacraft, and somebody else did an amazing, I don't remember who it was, that I would up my game if I had to do it again. But it turned out all right. Okay, now the hay is lines of tacky glue, and then I just stuck the hay stuff in the hay field. Then I just stuck the hay fibers into it. Then I came back with white glue over that and did a second run. So it's actually like 2 layers tall. I thought it gave it more of a grassy plant look than a blobs of hay look. So now the hay piles are styrofoam, like regular packing styrene. It's not styrofoam, but regular packing styrene, the white stuff with the beads. And I just cut them into a little mound, painted them brown, and then glued hay on top. There's nothing special there. It's a lot of glue, but it's nothing special to it. Yeah, it's watered down. I glued it down with regular PBA and then went back over it with watered down PBA. And somehow it still dried faster than the fields. I don't know how the fields with less glue took longer to dry. I don't know.
That's kind of weird. And Dungeon Matron says she's glad to see the stuff she sent being used.
Yeah. I of that particular plant, I have used it all. There's no more of that. I have some in a different color that I had from a different source, but of the one you sent me, I've used it all. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I see that the whole farm set is very well conceived. Thank you.
So remind me.
I try to lay things out so that they would make sense. I'm one of those people that even puts like toilets in the goblin layers. I'm one of those guys.
I mean, they have to go somewhere.
Yeah, something, even if it's just a midden.
The color of that matte thing really works out. I mean, you didn't have to paint that or anything.
Yeah, and Oh, it came out charcoal. It was charcoal gray, and I hit it with some brown. I wasn't particularly careful. I just got it on basically the top fibers, and it looks amazing. So
Yeah.
kudos to Gamesmith for hooking me up with that one.
Okay, and here's a little outhouse.
Yeah, I don't see it on the screen yet, but the outhouse is foam core on the inside, and then I just covered it with whatever sticks made sense at the time. The door Lisa also sent me as well, and I joked that I was going to use it on an outhouse, and she thought that was really funny, and so there you go.
Okay, how did you cut out that heart shape? Because it's like
I didn't. That's laser cut. Somebody else did that.
okay,
Even
okay.
the lines on okay, that's 2 boards on the side and the door. The door has 2 lines in it that look like planks. Those were already etched in. I got that.
Okay.
Good to go. It is stained. It is stained, but I didn't do anything else other than that.
Okay, so Sophie says that the way everything laid out does look believable. I really love the different textures and colors. And Questbortain is asking, is the wood pile actually split wood and chopsticks?
Yeah, it's not chopsticks. It's literally just little tiny branches that I cut. And this goes along with Sophie and Kim's thing because the wood piles I actually made 5 of, and I kept wanting to put more because I was so proud of them. That's how I cut my thumb. For anybody who's been watching my channel, I cut my thumb making those wood piles. And yeah, they're literally, I cut the length of them on my little razor saw miter block, and I split them apart with with a regular hobby knife, a number 11 blade, pointy blade hobby knife, and was dumb on the first couple and cut myself. After I got that all patched up, then I went back in and I would just hold the knife in place, get it just enough into where it would hold the wood, and then I tapped it gently with a hammer to drive it the rest of the way through. That way I kept my hand out of the way. So, but I had five wood piles and I kept wanting to put them all on there, and I couldn't make 5 wood piles look right. So thank you for saying it looks believable, because I was like, these wood piles got to go somewhere. And then I was finally like, no, they don't. In this picture the broader picture, they're literally just sitting just out of the picture to the right where I just plunked them down. They were almost in these images.
I mean,
and the cows are part of a whole set of animals that I got from like a hobby store and have had nothing done to them. I just set them up. There were pigs and horses and giraffes and various other things in that. I don't know why they think a giraffe is a farm animal, but nothing else was even remotely to scale. Those are huge cows relatively.
Yeah, I think you were talking about them on your last stream, yeah?
Yeah, the one before, yeah. In my mind, it's a fantasy world, or it's set in the olden times, so they're like the old aurochs that used to exist. I don't know, something.
Okay, Dungeon Matron is asking, is the hay from small sections of hemp rope?
Hemp or sisal, I'm not sure. It could be
hemp
sisal, or what's the other one? Jute. I have a bunch of rope and I didn't really pay attention. It's just, I grabbed one and cut it, and I have a whole jar of it. So I just took some out of the jar and stuck it on there. I'm
pretty sure it's cut up hemp string, because I've been elbows deep in it for the last week. So yeah.
Fair. I bow to the expert. Yeah.
Okay. And these are the older style fences. Yeah. What had you used there?
The what now?
The older style fences. It looks like some.
Oh, those are sawdust flock. That's a wire wrapped in paper that you can get at almost any floral place.
Ooh, okay.
I tried on my live stream recently. I had forgotten I had made these, and I tried on my live stream recently, and I tried to go back and forth with it, and it created too much tension and was ripping the fence posts free. So see how none of them wrap around. They all come to a dead end and are clipped off. Mm-hmm. I strongly suggest that. But these didn't have to be glued in place. I just bent them in place and they stayed because of the tension in the wire. The ground itself on those older fences, I don't know, but I know that the greenery is a mix of sawdust flock and clump foliage.
Okay. That works.
Yeah. And if I recall correctly, those were actual sticks, like little twigs. They may have been a chopstick, but I think those were just sticks looking at them now.
I think they're too round to have been a chopstick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the work doesn't have to be exactly the same, whatever.
Yep. Yeah, and it's like I said, it's so crazy. I had completely and utterly forgotten I made them.
I mean,
And then I went back and found older pictures of them and everything, and I'm like, oh well, okay.
I mean, you've been crafting for a while. I guess it's
Yeah.
normal that you're going to forget stuff.
It runs together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, the hedges in the back, it was really hard to match them because I've made hedges like 6 times and I've made them differently every time. So finding hedges that match was kind of a trick.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's like I always find this quite frustrating, and that's one of the reasons I try to. I'm recording most of the stuff I build right now, and I'm finding that's super useful because there's no way I'm going to remember, for example, the color I used for this one if
Yeah.
I don't take note of it.
And that's a good point on Wylock's recent video. He talked about that. He went back and watched one of his old videos so he could match a color. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good plan.
Right. So, do you have any?
Yeah, so the outhouse is a combination of ice cream stick and those thinner little lollipop sticks that I was talking about. And you can't really see it from any of these angles, but the sides and top are actually made with that medium-sized tongue depressor, not the big fat ones.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
And I slapped all the lumber on it, and then went back and put the little slats on just to cover the gaps. It's what used to be called a batten and board style, and yeah, I don't know. It looked right at the time. It's way out of scale for a what we think of as a modern, dunny, but it's dunny. Been talking to too many Australians online. But yeah, as far as dunnies go, it's way wide but comfort. You got all that room in there, elbow room while you're sitting in it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, if you take, for example, dwarves are wider than humans, so it's like,
There you go. There you go. And it does not open or anything. It's just a little block. The
so-
only thing I did funky and weird is before I put the door on, I cut a little hole in the foam core it's glued to. So it's literally all that wood is just glued to a foam core base.
Okay. So accept the hole so that you can, so that it looks like it's all the way through. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So it looks like it's an actual vent. So yeah. I was inordinately proud of it when I did it. I was like, yes, this is good.
And yeah, it is good. It's very good. Right, do you have any plans to add further stuff to your farm?
Yes, actually, I don't know when I'm going to do it. One of my first comments I said here in the chat earlier was I felt really bad because I also wanted to do Scarecrow, and I had grand visions of making like wheelbarrows as well. And something on here, I didn't know if you actually had limited it to 5 photos, but somebody mentioned 5 photos. So I had already uploaded 5 photos. I'm like, I lost all motivation to go back and make it. But at some point, there will be wheelbarrows and a Scarecrow.
Okay, so just to make it clear about the 5 photo limit, it's 5 photos per project. So for this one, for example, you could have 5 photos with the fields, 5 photos with the wheelbarrow, 5 photos with the whatever.
Oh, well, next time you get 750 photos and I'll make 9. Never mind.
Yeah, it's supposed to avoid having like 300 photos of the same thing.
Yeah, fair. But the only thing I don't like about this whole build, because there's the thing is that some people always ask, what do you like and what do you not? I don't like the little agave looking plants. I don't think they look right. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I didn't get them too close, too far apart. I don't like that one little patch of greenery, but the rest of it I really like.
I mean, you mean these plants over here, the green spiky ones?
Yeah, the ones where the Etten is standing behind them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't really like, but I'm, not ashamed of it. I stuck it on there anyway.
No, it looks fine. But I think I see what you mean, because it does look very different from others.
Yeah. I think if I was going to do, if I do anything to that, I'll just add dirt around it to make it look less sparse between, because it looks very machined between. Now, if I painted the ground, if I painted the ground in like a desert color and somebody was growing those in like a desert where agave, it would look fine with sand, but it looks weird here. But there's little things I keep looking at and I'm like, oh yes, I like that. I'm glad I did that. I
am happy to hear that. Because I mean, most of the time we're like looking at the project and we're like, oh, I wish I had done that. I wish I had done that. But you got to look for the stuff that you actually like as well in there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so the house is really fun and really simple. It's milk carton with the tiles are made out of a single sheet of foam core that's just been cut to look like tiles and then bordered with wood. The patch on the ground was literally just a whole layer of foam, just a sheet of foam that I then just spread glue on and then sprinkled different colors of the sawdust flock on. So it's all this stuff is super simple. It's straightforward stuff. It's just a matter of one step at a time. Yeah, but yeah, the and don't cut yourself when you make your log piles. That's really what we're doing.
That always helps. So yeah, Lisa is saying would have loved seeing a scarecrow. Please do that in one of your streams.
Yeah, I put a post on the Discord where it where I've got a picture of it in where it's after I first put the hay on it, but it doesn't have any fabric or anything on it yet. So I'll get to that. But my this stream and the next one and maybe the one after that are already spoken for. But I'll probably get around to some more farm stuff. If I do the wheelbarrows, I will do the scarecrows at the same time, and that'd probably be that's a good plan. Wonder if the agave would look better with matte varnish. Yeah, I was thinking like a dull matte varnish, I have a varnish that I use sometimes to dull things, and I was thinking if I had just a little bit of brown to bring that bright green down. But what's really funny is the bright green looks weird on the agave to me, but on the plant on the other side, it looks great with the bright green. So I don't know.
I think they're different color. They're different shade of green, no?
Yeah, slightly. The Kim saying paint, maybe cut them at slight angles. Yeah, they are not as bushy as they look when you look at them from the top. If I start to cut them, they will diminish very quickly. They're like just one single ring. If I had more of them, I could put them like double layer them and maybe do something like that. I may still do that. I've got a few of them left, but I don't have that many left. I don't have enough to cover the whole field again.
Gotcha. So let's see. And then
that's a thought. I didn't think about hitting the heat gun. I just got my heat gun back from my other housemate. He took it to do a thing and never gave it back. You know how it goes. So yeah, I've got my heat gun back. I may try that not on that piece. I'll glue one to something else and see if I can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, if you get it wrong with the heat gun, it's going to go bad very fast.
Yeah, luckily somebody gifted me one that's super nice and has adjustable temperatures, so I can try to make that work.
Okay, and Sophie's asking scarecrow challenge for October. That doesn't sound like a terrible idea, actually.
No. Especially that time of year. Especially that's like the time of year to do it. So that's when you make them. You make them in the fall so that they're ready for spring.
Okay, stuff. Okay.
So yeah, let somebody else talk. I've babbled and babbled. So
but yeah,
unless anybody else has got any questions.
This is a fantastic set, Cross. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, unless somebody else has anything specific to ask, I'm gonna ring off.
Okay, thanks for joining us, Cross, and again, well done for the whole set.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you. Okay, so while we bring in the next person, so D&D challenge for September is actually I think I'll push it should I push it for October? No, let's do it for September. It's going to be cities, towns, and villages. So basically any urban kind of terrain. You want to have I don't know, suburban buildings or urban buildings, or I don't know, if you want to do a medieval village. It all fits into the same theme. Yeah, a scarecrow challenge is fun, which is why I think I'll leave the next challenge for September, and then we do the scarecrow challenge in October. It's incredible that it's already October. We are already so close to October. I have no idea where this year went. Okay, so I've seen that Dungeon Maintenance in the chat. Lisa, do you want to jump into a call? As usual, it's any genre you like. Okay, I'm seeing tentacles here. Coming up in a second. Okay, Lisa, I'm giving you a call. Let's see what's in here in the meantime. Ooh, this looks nasty. Okay. Yeah, no rush. I do have questions about these tentacles, though. And the fruits. And the ground cover, too. It looks really nice, actually. What in God's name has been taking place in this farm? I don't think we really want to know. Hello, Lisa?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Are you getting any kind of feedback?
Nope, I am not.
Yay. Okay. So this is going to sound really weak on my part. Oh, sorry. What was that?
I can hear you.
Oh,
Okay, I am getting feedback now. Could you turn down the volume on YouTube, please?
I don't. Oh, do I have it on? Oh, I did. I thought. Shoot.
That's all right. It's all right.
Hold on. This is going to sound real. There we go.
Okay.
Now I'm here. Okay. Sorry about that.
Hey, no worries.
So this is going to sound really lame. I did mine in 2 days. So
I think I know why, because I think this was your second idea, yeah?
Third.
Third, okay.
I have lately in challenges been cursed with unable to make up my mind. So what I have decided, because I have, as you know, I've always done these bizarre, baby heads or whatever kind of things. And one of my complaints has always been that I can never use it on the table. So I think going forward, I plan to make everything playable. And so there's going to be fewer like baby heads and weird things like that. And it's going to be playable stuff. And this is actually an assassin vine that you can find in D&D.
Okay.
So this is actually something you could plop on the table for a game. And there's a story behind it. This is actually a farmed assassin vine. I figure it's an old hag or something in the woods who's planted this and is sending it out or whatever, feeding it to local villagers and
That's one. That's
livestock. Yeah. Oh yeah, the final faction tentacles, they have to be used. You can't let them just sit there looking at you going, need those. Yeah, I love the final faction tentacles, definitely. So yeah, a lot of Dollar Tree stuff here. A lot of Dollar Tree stuff here, as typically goes with me. The ground is just a piece of styrofoam that I covered in sawdust mixed with glue and paint.
okay.
Different variations of it, and then flocking on top of that. I wrapped the Dollar Tree tentacles in wire to create kind of a more of a viney texture,
Okay, I see that here. Yeah.
and added those leaves that are on there are from, I don't know if you remember, like a million years ago when we did a portal build. It was a portal build or something like that, doorways or something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
And I did kind of a elven portal thing, and it's had those leaves all over it, and I had cut some of them back because it was too leafy, and so I had cut individual leaves off, and I held on to those, and that's what those are from that,
Okay.
which so they keep handy. Yeah, I'm afraid my build is not nearly as impressive as the other ones that we've seen.
I mean,
It's fun, though.
it's impressive in different ways. I mean, I think this is the only piece of terrain that can eat that we're going to have today. So, that works.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, those grapes, also Dollar Tree. According to the monster manual, the assassin vine has berries on it. It didn't say in what formation or what color, but so I stuck these weird, I don't know what they are on the plant at the Dollar Tree, what they're supposed to be. But I stuck those on. I guess they work.
Yeah, I agree. Sophie saying making something cool in such a short time span is also impressive.
Oh, well, thank you, Sophie. It's really it's not as impressive as I would like it to be, because I was really torn between making up my mind what I wanted to do and then the short period of time I had to do it in. So
So, would you also like to tell us about the ideas you put aside? Because I know that one of them was really was really I don't know, stroke of genius. The other one is I have no idea about.
So which one was it? The crystal babies or the I was going to make a crystal farm.
That one I remember. Yeah.
With that didn't work out well. And then I was going to make the vines produce babies. I don't know. But yeah, it was really bizarre. I do plan to use that crystal stuff on something if I can ever get it to formulate right. I think it's the water I used did not have the right pH balance or something in it, because it was not growing the crystals properly, and so I had abandoned it because I couldn't get it to. The crystals were really, 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 really tiny, and they didn't show up at all, really. They just kind of made everything look like it had a fuzz on it. So, which was
babies.
unfortunate, because I would have liked for it to look more crystally, and then I would have continued with the crystal baby thing. But like I said, I want to go forward with things that I can put on the table and play with.
I mean, this is definitely a piece you can put down on the table and play with. So that's really nice that way. Is the cow part of the terrain, or is it just something else for the photos for effect?
No, He's not actually attached. I just put him in there to give the, to communicate that these are assassin vines and they are going to grab whatever live creature walks by. So I'm like, okay, cow, your days are numbered. Here you go.
Yeah, it is a shame because I mean the ideas you were throwing down for that crystal stuff were pretty wild. But then again, I mean you can probably use it for something even more impressive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is small and it's scattery. It works. It works for what it's built for. Absolutely, it's table ready. And let's put it that way. It's just table ready.
Okay, so since we mentioned D&D, I'm just going to take a second to mention a Kickstarter that some friends of mine are running at the moment. It's Ebendori's Codex of the Undersea. So, I don't really play 5e at all or whatever, but the art in this book is really amazing. So you guys might want to take a look at that. It's got stuff for underwater feats, underwater characters, underwater settlements, and other stuff like that. And I believe it closes in 19 days. But yeah, anyway, it's not sponsored. It's just friends of mine working on it, and I really love the art they've done on it. But with that, back to Lisa. What else would you do in this line of stuff if you had to add or remove something from this build?
More tendrils and wire in there, as mentioned earlier, that it would have probably benefited from more of that. And I think I would have probably had, if I had the time, textured the tentacles a little more than leaving them. They're far too shiny. I probably would have made them a little more a duller color and then added some different colors to them. Maybe I think have the ends of the tentacles go into more of either a yellower tone or a purple tone. And I was very pleased though with the ground texture, how that turned out for
Yeah,
me.
I think it looks great.
And I think I would have added a few tufts here and there, but I didn't want to cover up the blood. I wanted the blood to show.
What do you use for the blood?
Actually, that's red nail polish.
Ooh.
It's just red enamel nail polish that keeps shiny like blood.
Interesting. Yeah, that's another thing that I'll need to keep in stock.
You have to be careful using it on foam though, because it will eat the foam.
I mean, as long as you as long as you protect the foam. I usually seal it pretty carefully because I like to spray prime my stuff and use spray varnishes to protect it. So I'm guessing that this should be fine with it.
Yeah, I poured it on, or dropped it on rather, once the flocking had been mixed with glue, and so yeah, it was sealed, and I
that would cover it pretty well.
Yeah. So I'm sorry about the quality of this one. I apologize, guys, because
there's nothing wrong with the quality of this one.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay, there's something that you can put on a table and people will have fun getting torn apart by.
Yes, exactly. So, all right. Well, mine is I don't have all that much to present on this one, I'm afraid. What you see is what you get there. So I'm going to probably drop and let some other people come in and talk about their amazing stuff.
Hey, Lisa, thank you for joining us, and actually, thank you for building this because, again, for how long do you take to do it? A couple of days?
2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
I mean, look, sometimes I don't even get to the already grounded today. So yeah, that is pretty much an achievement.
I'm wondering how that's going to turn out when I go to the crafting challenge at Mythicon. That's going to be interesting because that's only 3 hours. It takes me 2 days to build
Yeah, when is Mythicon again?
that. It's November 11th, I
Okay.
think. Kim, you can correct me if I'm wrong there because I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's the 11th of November.
But still,
Thank
yeah.
you guys. You're very kind in your comments. I appreciate it. All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Karl.
Hey, thank you for joining in. It's been lovely talking to you. And yeah, like I said, I really like this build.
Well, thank you. I will talk at you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
You have a lovely day.
You too.
Okay, bye. Okay, so yeah, I mean, 3-hour crafting challenge sounds, I mean, mind bending to me because I am not a fast crafter. I mean, like, Mythicon is November 7th to 9th. Thanks, him. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm thinking we can get Chris if you're still in the oh yeah, you are still in the chat. So Chris, I'm going to give you a call, okay? Let's find the notorious BGD. Yeah, I think you would need to focus to get something done in 3 hours. Hello, Chris. How are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. How are you doing? Hello?
Oh, can you hear me okay? I can't hear you.
I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, maybe let's try disconnecting and reconnecting with the call. Let's see what happens. Okay, Chris, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Ah,
Hello.
okay, good, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for uploading till the hours before the stream.
It's all good. It's all good. So, do you want to walk us through the first one? Let's see. It says a trash barn and farmhouse.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we've got a gray farmhouse building.
Here we go. Oops, sorry. Let me mute
Okay.
so I don't have anything crazy going on here. Yeah, so I had gotten through a phase last year in particular where I was working a lot with 100% trash builds. I really wanted to look at uh bound boxes and
Mm-hmm.
corrugated single ply cardboard of the type your typical Amazon lightweight shipping box comes in, and thin cardboard. I don't know if it's the same in Malta, but in the States, our soda pop 12-ounce cans are packaged in a fairly sturdy, very thin cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so
Yep.
those are the materials that I used for these builds, both the barn and the farmhouse. And these were also part of, we have a church fall festival that we have a crafting night every year that's kind of centered around themes of abundance and stuff like that. So do these, what I call trash cabins that I make as a blank. And that's what that's what this particular farmhouse came out. So it really just starts as a thin cardboard food packaging box for uh, Keurig cups, and it's clad with a single ply of Amazon box, and then all the details are that thin cardboard from the soda can cases.
Okay. It's barely visible, but in the picture, but I can see that there's a lot of detail on the door as well.
Yeah, actually, that was just some blank white note index card actually that I just used to make some panels on the door and stick it on there. And it's thin, it's food packaging, clear food packaging or acetate, and then masking tape cut into thin, thin strips, just used to put some quick and simple uh, lattices in the windows.
Okay. So that's actually tape. It's not like cardboard. Okay. That's a clever way of doing it. Nice.
But it's just fun to see, and again, starting with kind of a tabula rasa of just the bare cardboard boxes that uh, have a choice of roofing materials and some only the corner trim strips to see what a crowd full of people who don't even normally do this for a hobby will sit down and create. I try to come up with little kits where I make those strips of shingle as detailed in your recent video. And I have those available, and I have some corrugated paper available. And sometimes people will do something different with the roof, but it's always interesting to see all the possible variations that you can have, again, from all very humble materials that you probably have sitting in your recycling at this moment. I think the only thing that was a specialty item on that farmhouse was the chimney is a little offcut of XPS foam that was detailed.
Yeah, that does make sense. Actually, let's bring on the this is the fall 2023 Kit Fall Festival. So these are the blanks that you prepared, yeah?
Yeah. If you go in there, I'll show you how the project evolved. The first year we did it, if you look at the first one, you can see. So I had a basic barn structure, the
Mm-hmm.
cardboard one. You're perfect. You're in the right directory. That first one with the unpainted bits. That was my barn, which is about 5 by 10 footprint, and I needed the other components in the kit to nest and fit in there. So I have all these little outbuilding pieces in that next slide that you just went to, and they all managed to fit within the shell of the barn. But what I did is, as you go through these slides in this next one,
Okay, hang on.
is I made them modular. So all I had to do was prepare them and get the roof heights correct so that they would allow you to have as many possible combinations. So if you wanted a simple shed roof outbuilding, it can stand alone. If you put two of those side by side, you have a standard gabled roof. And you can use those little other components as additions to go on the front or the side of the building to create an L-shaped building, or to add an addition, an extension to a building, or a wing on each side of the
Nice.
farmhouse. And I wanted to try to come up with as many possible combinations that if you run through, you can see just the different ways these outbuildings were assembled in order to give variations.
So the idea here is that you've got the kits and you just hand them out to people who have not crafted before or have not crafted since they were children, and just let them loose playing with them. Is that the idea?
Exactly so, and when we get to the 2024s, you'll see the whole setup, but so there's the same pieces done as 2 buildings that way, and the same pieces rearranged to give
Okay, let's
various
see.
possibilities in addition to the barn. And everything fit inside the barn, which was the most important part because this stuff winds up taking up a lot of space otherwise.
Okay, so this was the setup, if I remember correctly.
That's right. And that was all from the first year, and if you see the 2024 setup.
This is the 2024 crafting kit set event.
There you go. Yeah, that first frame, you can see this is with all the kits out on the tables for people. Everybody's got, I think, 6 total components and a bunch of crafting tools that are donated that go and they get ready. They start with their little K-cup farmhouse, and the barn is inside. And if you go to the next ones, you can see the 6 components that
Yeah,
were in each kit.
there's like a container, if I see correctly. Yeah?
Mhm.
Is that a shipping container?
So yep, the shipping container, 2 little additions, the K-cup
Mm-hmm.
box, 1 additional outbuilding, and the barn, and those were the pieces that people had to work with. And this is the evolved barn, as we'll see. So I started using foam core
Ah, sorry.
to
Yeah, for
give
the
me a
sides. Yeah.
little bit of, yeah, that's right, a little bit of structure. for some of the pieces, the barn in particular, just because it's such a long unsupported
Hmm.
run. But I'm a big fan of taking 2 plies of material, whether it's foam core or corrugated cardboard, and laminating it together. There's my yeah, exactly. So it gives it a lot more rigidity. You don't need it as much on the gable ends, on the gambrel ends, but you definitely benefit from having it on those long 10-inch runs on the side. And the same thing for the little shipping container. It also is got 2 plies because the corrugated cardboard uh, that has been stripped of its paper on one side does become a little bit flimsy.
Let's see. Yeah, the edge, that is a brilliant idea. And and Chris should totally do that. He's saying you could tell everyone you're keeping their projects and start a side business on Etsy.
It's a lot of fun. It's something I really do like doing, and the payoff is seeing all the creativity that comes about with a few humble components.
So this is like, how many buildings did you have at the end of this?
The first year was 70. I think
Oh,
we
wow.
had 80 some last year, and we'll probably have about the same this year. Total structures. I think I'm reducing the number of total structures that will go into this year's kit, but there will be more people. So here's one embellishment.
Hmm.
Uh, this is with that outside. So you can see that the basic blank, the cardboard extends all the way to the ground.
Yep.
But in this example that I built, I just took a 3/4 inch strip of uh, dollar store foam core. I rolled it with a green stuff texture roller and applied it as a veneer, and you can see what it looks like finished with shingles, just to add a stone foundation to the basic barn blank. And there's lots and lots and lots and lots of ways to turn each one of those barns into a different kind of masterpiece.
Yeah, I mean, like it's you've got the literally the basic building blocks there, and just a question of adding more stuff to them, or maybe removing
Yeah,
some
I
parts. Maybe.
tried to make everything as additive as possible. There's cases where if you want to put in a window, you might whip out the razor knife and chop your hole through the side of it. And I tried to leave spaces where that would be easy to do. Even when I'm gluing it, I try to have places where I specifically leave voids in the glue between the inner and outer layers
Mhm.
so that if somebody wants to cut a window, that's a good place for them
Ah,
to
okay,
cut a window.
nice. So you kind of actually facilitate that. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, to the best is that you and I have talked before about how I feel about the concept of Kaizen, that continuous incremental improvement. So as I'm working on these things over and over and doing it each year and doing it in repetition, try to come up with these little things that I can do in the process that are gonna make things just better all around when it actually gets used.
So do you actually cut all the blanks out yourself by hand? Because that sounds like it would take you most of the year to do all
I
those.
I do, I do.
Oof.
I plan ahead, I pace myself, and, believe it or not, I think I have all the 2025 just about done. I didn't need to make some fences, and that's about it. But it's a good
Okay.
fun time.
Yeah, I'm sure people enjoy it. So let's see. Let's go on to Project B, the Karl barn. Okay, that's interesting.
The Karl Barn is, the white dwarf project that you featured on your recent video, and, you were kind enough to, include a couple of photos of my alternate construction method, and, wanted to just upload that and show you a very simple finished version, but this is me just starting with the foam components that are cut out in the same pattern that you had in that old
Hmm.
magazine article, give or take a little embellishment here and there. And then how it's assembled with 2 ply construction of dollar store foam core in the next
Yep.
bit.
Yeah.
And then the outside paper is peeled and textured for the vertical planking. So where you used craft wood and applied by hand. This is my lazy man's approach to getting something similar, which is just to score everything with an X-Acto knife at quarter-inch vertical planks. Uh, Important, and learning this the hard way, in the direction of extrusion of dollar store foam core. So the X in XPS, as we all know, uh, there is a grain to that
Mm-hmm.
foam, whether you've got XPS blanks or in the long direction of a 20 by 30-inch sheet of dollar store foam core. And so it makes a big difference when you go to then texture it with your wire brush
Mm-hmm.
and then widen those grooves with a blunt pencil. It makes a big difference to get that fine wood texture if you are doing it in the direction of the extrusion. So I'm always careful to figure out which way I'm cutting that foam and which way I intend the planking to go, whether it's vertical or horizontal.
Yeah, that makes sense. And if you get it wrong, it can cause quite a lot of tear out, which makes it very messy.
Or at least be noticeably different. Sometimes it's unavoidable. Sometimes you just have to shred carefully when you are texturing with that wire brush and do the best you can, because especially some of my techniques where I cut the entire um, half timber lattice out in a matrix, I
Mm-hmm.
don't have the option. I
Of
just
course.
have to fake it again because I'm looking ne- to not necessarily make it quite as beautiful, but to save time in those circumstances, and so other priorities. But that's the finished assembled barn with roof shingles attached, and then I have one final, mostly painted
Um,
picture of the Carl barn just with simple base coat. I'll probably do a little bit more dry brushing and detailing when I get it done, but I just wanted to get it mostly together.
yeah, I
I
mean,
think that's the final picture on this one.
I really enjoyed seeing you make this one because it's like how different two projects from the same template can be. I really like that.
Oh, thank you. It was a fun project when you posted that. I immediately gravitated toward it, and I really liked the video very much.
Thanks for that. Okay, so let's see. Wild West foam core dairy barn front. Oh, this is nice. So I think this is the same foam core texturing, yeah?
Yeah, if you go actually, if you do project, yeah, this one's totally fine. Yeah, this is also foam core. This has just got a little craftwood addition, and it is corrugated food packaging insert from a particular brand of saltine crackers that I like, and I built the entire barn specifically around the contours that come in the package. The package is already pre-creased along those lines, and so I just designed the barn so that I could slap the entire piece of paper right down on top and make a hot tin roof, and that's kind of what I did. And then I built the uh, doors out of normal coffee stir stick craft wood, and then stained them with some really nifty stain that I have trouble getting now. I think it's Scale 75 is a brand, but it really is a easy one-step way to turn uncoated wood into good-looking wood at scale. And then the rest is a clabbered technique, what I call feather blading, but it's directionally uh, incising those overlapping boards to get that clabbered look or a log cabin look.
I got you.
Dollar store foam core.
So it's like you cut V shapes into it, kind of thing.
Yeah, even more than that. So normally I'll take again, following the direction of the grain, I'll score it with a razor knife at quarter-inch intervals, and then come back at a very, very shallow angle and just cleave in underneath the top edge to get and then I texture the whole thing.
Nice. I'm also liking the texture of the roof. It looks like.
Uh,
Did you add anything to it? I mean, like I know it's painted, but did you add any additional textures? Just the texture of the packaging?
No, actually, I didn't. That's just the texture of the packaging as it
Nice.
came out, but thank you very much. Yeah, it's just a simple three-color dry brush.
Nice.
Little rust here and there.
Okay, so let's see. Going back to Project D. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Fermi David.
You said it exactly right. So our good friend David Roach from Terraintronics had a class that he was conducting to teach people how to uh, wire up simple LED circuits. And he traveled on the road, and he needed to have something for the his students to work on. And he came up with the basic shape that was here, and he posted it onto our Discord, and we were talking about it. And he said it's a pain because I can't really have 14, 15 of these that I'm carrying around pre-made as blanks for people to be able to wire up. And I said, well, what if you designed something that had that same kind of interesting, visual table appeal, but you started with a single strip of dollar store foam core and essentially scored it and cut it so that it would be ready to basically just pop up to essentially wrap in, and with a hot glue gun in 5 minutes you could assemble all of them on site. And if you go to, I think, the last slide that is in here, so all this
Oh,
is dollar
nice.
store foam core with trash paper uh, decorations for the roof and for the bracing. The only thing that's a specialty item there is the door. The man door is made uh, from I think it's a 1/6 scale or 1/12 scale dollhouse shingle. That's what I use. But what you're seeing here is essentially what I cut out, and it's an almost zero waste project. You can make about, I think, 4 or 5 of these out of, I think you can make 4 of them out of a single dollar store foam core sheet, 20 by 30. And there's all the parts that are cut out for each of those strips uh, are used for the internal bracing of the structure. And so not only can you choose to uh, orient the gabled section of the roof so that it is either in this 90-degree crossways orientation, or cut it away and turn it so it looks like the original cardboard barn. But uh, you can build 4 of these out of a single $1.25 sheet, and texture the outside, and it takes minutes to do. It's a pretty efficient way. So I've actually included these in our craft fair for people who want just a little extra challenge. Or I have these blanks that are set up, and they can build an extra outbuilding and texture it as part of their farm kit.
This is that's an amazing level of planning and design. I love this.
I thank you. Again, I appreciate our friend David for the inspiration.
Okay, so the end was mentioning the glue in the previous one could probably use some weathering or moss to hide the seams and the glue. So we're talking about there's one possibly around these edges, but yeah, I mean, dirtying stuff up and things. It's always a question of how much time you're going to invest in a product in a project, I guess.
And to tell you the truth, usually with wood construction and where I'm faking the planks and stuff like this, and this was one of several that I made like this, and you're right, that's not the prettiest seam. I normally don't care that much on wood buildings. When I have buildings that are made out of stone, as you'll see in the final project, I spend a lot more time trying to bevel that and get it right. But on a wood building where normally you're going to have boards butting up against boards in butt joints, I'm okay if it's out of scale. If we look at that one right there, Lawrence's, You'll
Oh,
remember
okay.
that our friend Lawrence had this wonderful, what he called an upscale A-frame
Mm-hmm.
farmhouse project that he made out of huge chunks of XPS foam because he's in the construction industry and he can get
Get
3-inch
yeah.
XPS for free. And I said, well, since I can't get 3-inch XPS for free, Lawrence, what I will do is totally gank your beautiful design, and I will make it out of dollar store foam core, but I'm gonna up the ante and make a playable interior. So I started with a 1-inch piece of XPS foam, and I textured it out with the floor plan for kind of an A-frame with wings, if you will. And
Okay. Yeah.
as you'll see in the next pictures, after I had the base set, I built the same little basic A-frame farmhouse with two gable uh, wings on either side to give it that kind of cruciform plan. But this is all just a single piece of XPS foam that was cut and textured and painted. Uh,
Ooh, okay.
that's the back of the building. I used drywall mesh for the uh, window lattices. It's XPS for the foam. It's food packaging for the uh, shingles, a dollhouse shingle for the door, and the half timber matrix on the front, which sits quite proud here, uh, is cut from a single piece of dollar store foam core, pre-painted and then slapped on.
That's why you mentioned that you cannot always have the orientation for the thing. Yeah.
That is correct.
Mm,
But that was my homage to Lawrence's excellent project.
looks cute. And okay, let's see. Project H, work in progress, Normandy World Farm. Ooh.
So this was my last project, and this is the one I was working on right up until the bitter end. As you know, I had some things happen this week, unfortunate circumstances in the real world that seriously cut into my crafting time. But I conceived of this last weekend, and I crafted hard to get it as far as I could. But I basically wanted to. I was looking at pictures of World War II of these beautiful walled farms that you see in Normandy and that part of
Hmm.
France and L'Occitan and all that stuff like that. There's a couple of kind of really interesting vernacular uh, architecture, and so I decided to come up with a modular walled farm, and these are all done in two plies of dollar store foam core, done in a stone style, just rolled with a dollar store, I beg your pardon, with a green stuff roller on dollar store foam core. So there's a barn, a shed, stables is what you see in there.
Uh-huh.
There is a pigsty coming up.
Okay.
There's the barn, the shed, the stables. That's the dairy barn.
Uh, the
It's
one
going
with
to have
the
a head gate, yeah,
okay.
and a gatehouse and a pigsty.
Whoa. Okay. This is
That's
big.
that's my pigsty. And then the gatehouse is the last little bit, and that's as far as I got in it. But if you see the last one all together,
Yeah, I'm on the last one. That looks absolutely massive.
that is it. It's fully modular, so you can, but it all fits into this walled square. And there you can see with the manor house, which is the only part I didn't show you guys. It'll probably have a different roof on it when it's done. That was the last piece that I didn't get to paint and dry brush yet, but I got it built. Everything has a fully playable interior. There's 3 stories, including the attic uh, in the manor house, and it's 20 inches square. So yeah, I think when I get it 100% done, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to having some good role-playing adventures
Yeah,
and small skirmish games, killing Nazis and stuff like that.
I really want to see pictures of this when it's done, or when it's in progress. But I mean, this looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it for less than a week's work.
I mean, that is an extreme pace. Seriously, like I was saying, I'm not a fast crafter. I mean, I couldn't possibly do this in a week.
Well, the interesting thing about it is normally I really usually have a pretty solid plan for what I'm going to do. And I was definitely doing a lot of seat of the pants work as I was coming. And the improvisational nature, like I said, it's not my forte, but it was an interesting departure from what I usually do. And I was fairly happy with the results so far. Like I said, there are a few things I think in hindsight I would have done differently. And no project is ever completely done for me. So there may be points where I revisit parts of it in the future after I get it mostly done. But that was what was gonna supposed to be my showstopper grand finale. That was this one uh, that I have for you with my same basic methods, but just done. Uh, I really appreciated the, like I said, the vernacular architecture. There's
Hmm.
a very specific. All these houses in Normandy have about a 9.5 to 12 rise over run, which is like a 4 in 5, and it gives just a little bit of a different look than if you do your standard 45-degree pitch or
Yeah, of
60
course.
degree pitch. And so I tried to be faithful to that. I came up with a new uh, uh, paint scheme to use with this particular texture roller to give it that lighter look with the variation. I was pretty happy with how it came out for how fast it came together.
Yeah, Dungeon Maintenance is saying the paint job on the stone needs to be recognized, and yeah, it is looking really good.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really fun set, and I tried to make every single one of them, a building that'll be useful on its own. So if I just need an extra stone barn or an extra cottage someplace, or a stone stable someplace for a particular adventure, or encounter, I'll have these to draw on, and you can lay them out not only in the full walled square, but in, making them, in yeah, more of a longitudinal layout as well.
Okay, yeah, the end is saying it reminds him of Saving Private Ryan, so I think you got the color scheme right.
All right. That's what I like to hear. I appreciate that.
Okay, yeah, let me just bring back the last picture here because again, I need to look at it more because it looks amazing. Hey, Chris, this is fantastic work, and
Well,
I'm
thank you very much. I
really looking forward
appreciate it.
to seeing it as it progresses.
I will definitely be posting it on the Discord. But thank everybody in chat, and as always, Carl, it is really wonderful to be part of your stream.
It's always a pleasure, and I'm glad you could join us today.
All right. Be well. Thank you very much.
Okay, have a lovely day. Bye. Okay, so let's see what's this here in the chat. I guess crossbow terrain. Okay, let me just bring up a call. Okay, we'll just get to the others who weren't here at the end of the stream. One in there. There we go. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How are you doing?
Sounds great. Yes, I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm loving the builds today.
Oh, yeah, it's been amazing. They all have so many different pieces. It's great.
Okay, so just brought yours up on screen. Actually, let me see if I can turn on the virtual camera without killing everything. There we go.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, I can see. Great. I appreciate that.
Okay, before we go on, I just need to point out that Quest Britain already has a video up about this build with a story to go along with it, and you should go watch it after the stream.
Thank you.
I
Thank
mean,
you for that.
not you. I mean you, as in everyone in the chat.
Yeah, I've watched it a couple times. I do like the story. I like the story a lot. But thank you for that.
Natural materials, pine cones. Yeah, how about you start walking us through this? Tell us what we're seeing.
Well, this one in particular, the branches, the logs. I wanted to do a log cabin, but I was doing it quickly, so I didn't do it the way I really should have. But I did get little twigs from the evergreen plants by my house, so I just chopped them all up to make a couple of structures. And I had a pine, like 2 pine cones that I had saved because again, I do have a bunch of evergreens and pines. And I had them since last year, and I decided, well, if goblins were building their ranch, they would use whatever was around. So there was a big pine cone, and I cut that up and turned that into the roof. So, and then the shells, definitely, it's a snail ranch, a giant snail ranch. So I use little shells that I had around to make the doorways and things. Again, it was sort of quick, so I should have more windows. I should have it a little more apparent for the entryways and things like that. But I just sort of plastered it in.
I mean, it's a goblin ranch. It's not going to be completely up to code.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, let's see. We've got the pieces together, and this looks nice.
Yeah, those are the different paddocks, because you have the fancy snails up front on the left, and you have the larger giant snails in the rear, and then you have some in the middle kind of snails. So I separated the shells out that I had.
Okay, these fences are interesting. It's like a split post. I mean, we've seen a few wattle fences today, but not this this design, not this pattern.
Yeah, basically the same type of twigs, but the thicker ones. I use those to make the split posts, and then I split the coffee stirrers so it didn't look so much like a coffee stirrer, so it would be a little bit more rough hewn.
I'm gonna cut. I think for these out of order. There we go.
You can sort of see the individual paddocks with the different creatures and the different types of feed they had. I just used some of the like army painter tufts or the general
Okay.
flocking tufts
So
to make up
you
the stacks.
so you made different stacks in there, like different fodder.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, that's a nice touch.
Right, absolutely. The different animals get different types of feed. And coffee grounds for the pathway.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here are the different snails.
Yeah. Basically hair bobby pins twisted up and formed with hot glue over them and then painted to create the slug creature and then glued them into their shells.
Okay, yeah. We've seen a variety of stuff and techniques for fences and things today, and it's really interesting. Okay. So, what do you use for rope over there?
Oh, the rope was actually, I had gotten a few different hair accessories, and one of them happened to be like a cotton coil that sort of sticks in my hair so I don't use it. So I sort of pulled it out straight and then wrapped it up and painted it to make it look like rope.
Nice, all right. But I really like how much texture everything has.
Yeah, thank you.
So do you have any plans for the continuing adventures of the Snake Ranch? Oh, Snail Ranch, sorry.
Well, well, the story is sort of a continuation of the transportation
Mm-hmm.
story because one of the characters from that story shows up in this story, and it's going to be one of the recurring characters for the ongoing story this year, the fitted story.
Nice, okay.
And yeah. So that person happened to have, and again, I apologize to anyone who has a Southern accent because I did do that in the story. So, that character did have a Southern accent. So this story I did that in a Southern accent, or a U.S. Southern accent, and I do like that particular character, and there are some twists and turns that will happen with her.
Nice. Definitely looking forward to following more of the story.
Oh no, thank you very much. Yeah, I was hoping to go a little bit deeper into that character, and this gave me a great opportunity. So thank you for that. The idea of the farm.
Okay, so yeah, we'll just have to see what you come up with for the cities, towns, and villages.
Mm,
Mm.
yes. Lots of thoughts for that. Thank you.
Nice. Okay, since you're here, how about I'm just going to bring mine up and
Oh yeah.
okay, let's see. We've got a few here. So the first one up is the burn. I've just dropped the video for that and
Okay. Oh, yeah.
start off with from a very similar template to what Chris was showing earlier. Okay, the big difference here is that I based it for food packaging, so it's 1 millimeter thick card and covered with coffee stir sticks. Okay, now the big thing about this is that I finally remembered that I can actually use a milliput to sculpt some stuff, so I sculpted a few little details here and there. Mostly the pull rings on the door and the little horseshoe above the door, which everyone tells me should be the other way, pointing the other way around. But I mean, like I said, around here where I live, when I see that, it's usually pointing down. I think it's a Mediterranean thing.
I saw that as a comment on your video, and because I remember having the conversation, and I did also see that you showed different ways to make some of the poles instead if you didn't have milliput to use the cardboard and wire and things like that.
Yeah,
so that was great. That was a great addition.
Yeah, that's the way I used to do them before, but honestly, it's very difficult to get anything that they're going to be a bit oversized if you do them this way.
Mhm.
And some people mind, some people don't. But again, if you just don't mind getting your hands a bit dirty, it's quite easy to make really down to scale parts. Okay, next up is the peasant handcart. This one was a lot of fun to make.
Yes, yeah, I remember watching this one too. And the point that it's actually large enough to put like a little mini in there, and
And the
that's
front, yeah.
a great use. Yeah, that's a great use.
I mean, you can just see in the background there. There's actually a miniature base in front of another cart.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, that's really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, again, it's just coffee stir sticks, bits of toothpick, and bits of string. And the wheels are several layers of cardboard just super glued together. That card looks amazing. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And even the sides. I mean, it's very simple, but it's completely, utilitarian. You can use it.
Yeah, I mean the one thing I liked about it is that it can be used as a mobile objective in a game or things like that, something like that.
I can just anticipate a chase scene. Someone trying to pull the cart.
Yeah, it probably have Benny Hill music or something like that, but
Yeah.
that's right. Okay, no, the thing with this is that once I had done this, I had figured out, okay, I can use the same technique to make wattle fences, because that's literally what it is anyway. So there we go. I believe
Yeah, those look so.
This was sisal string, if I remember correctly, but I took the strands apart. I think most strings have 2 or 3 strands. I had to take it apart and use these strand by strand. And if you compare to this here, I had used the whole string.
Fence actually looks dangerous, which is good.
Okay, and this is the openable gate that I had mentioned to cross. It's actually 2 pieces of I think that's nylon fiber thread. I had to sew that into place, and it was absolutely not fun to do. The other thing about this is I mean, they're very easy to build, but you have to be super careful with these because these fences are hardened with super glue. So the strands just don't flop out of the way and so on. It takes a massive amount of super glue, and if you're not careful, the fumes will start hurting your eyes.
Or your lungs, or your nose, or
Or
your brain.
The brain is gone anyway, so it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Being gone a long time. Okay, and okay, this is my work in progress project, the haystacks.
Are those hollow?
They are indeed.
Oh, that's perfect. That's great. Yes.
Okay, so the one at the back is actually complete. The one at the front isn't yet. I still need to add a few more layers of glue on top of it, so it's otherwise it will just go bald in a few weeks.
But those are perfect. Those are wonderful, especially for playable terrain.
Okay, let's see. I had good results using watered down PVA to stiffen my fences. Yeah, that would work as well, just takes a lot longer. Okay. Yeah, no more functional gates for me. Yeah, I know, right? So, yeah, the thing about these is that they take stupid amounts of time to dry.
Is that fiber? What is that?
It's
Specific.
hemp twine.
Oh, the hemp twine. Oh, okay, cut a pin. Hemp twine.
So that's why I mentioned to cross that. I think that's what it is because it's exactly the same color and
yeah.
I've got it all over my floor now at the moment, and I can even see it now. But yeah, I mean, it's the same stuff that I use for my homemade flock, but you don't even need to dye it. It's literally just dried grass. Okay, and yeah, I'll give you a guess for what the inside is made of. Is made out of.
Is it foam? That doesn't look like foam,
Nope.
does it?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
It's not paper.
It is paper.
It is paper?
Yep, toilet paper.
Perfect. Is there something in the middle though? I see or is that all toilet paper and then the hemp on top of it?
No, it's literally all layers of toilet paper and the glue.
How long did that take to dry?
Not over. It was okay overnight.
Okay.
It's the fibers that take ages to. Okay, everyone thinks coconut.
It looks like coconut. Is the texture is
Okay.
really
It's a non-edible coconut. It's a synthetic coconut. Okay. Now I did have a question for all of you actually. In the US, do you get like these capsules that you inside the Easter egg? Inside Easter eggs?
We do have like around Easter time. We do have those empty eggs that people hide candy in, and then hide them around the house.
Okay, but you don't have like these plastic capsules that you put inside them, right?
I don't think so. I mean, unless someone in the chat can say. I only remember seeing the eggs themselves and the hollow eggs that you could put things in.
Okay, yeah, because over here in Europe it's fair normal. I'm just asking because I know that you guys don't get Kinder Surprise capsule thingies.
Right.
So yeah, but because again, that's what I used to. That's what I used to form the paper over, and if you guys don't get that, I'll probably need to. I do have some alternative ideas, but probably need to. Yeah, not Kinder eggs. These are the ones for Easter eggs, but I guess it's pretty much the same thing.
Someone might be able to use like individual egg carton, egg holder pieces, maybe, but they'd be small.
Oh, thanks, RPG Grandma. Yeah, plastic dome drink lids. I think that would work.
Yeah. I like that. RPG Grandma.
Thanks for that. So yeah. That Karl makes stuff. Our poor man's version of not was the egg half split long ways. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of options.
Tennis balls. Oh, tennis balls could work. But last time I used the tennis balls for crafting, I was making silicone maces for training. Those were lots of
Maybe
fun.
ping pong.
Hmm?
And maybe ping pong balls. A little small.
It's on the small side, but you could use them, I guess. But yeah, I'm still finishing off fake plastic coconut cups. I mean, probably if you could use a fake plastic coconut cup, it's probably already got everything on it, so you could literally just use that as it is, I guess. So yeah, that's a very good option.
Yep, K-cups maybe.
Yeah, I guess. Wiffle ball. I have no idea what a wiffle ball is.
It's that plastic ball with holes in it. Yeah, it's it's a plastic ball about the size of a baseball, a little bit larger than a baseball, but it's just a thin layer of plastic with holes all through it.
No idea. Seriously, I don't think it's a thing we see here. Okay, so I'm not sure if I also have no idea what a Dixie cup is. So sorry.
Just a Dixie cup is just a regular like paper cup or plastic cup. That's just the brand name.
So I'm not sure if Hacksaw is still in the chat. I know that he left earlier, but I think that Sahacraft and Airpembrick weren't here today, so let's just go over their things.
Yeah, I saw these earlier. These are amazing. I love those cabbages and those pumpkins.
Yeah, these are all sculpted in polymer clay.
Yeah.
I think he didn't even need to paint them. Yeah, the vines are really good.
Yeah, and yeah, those are even the just twists in the vines.
I forgot what he uses for them, but I know that he does have a video about them.
Oh, the eggplant up near the top.
He's got a whole range of stuff in there. Okay, let's see. Okay, more fences.
Yeah. The moss is so cool too. They look like a little bit like tumbleweeds almost.
Oh yeah.
Those melons too. The painting, the paint on the melons is really nice.
Yeah, it's actually quite simple but very effective because it's
Yeah.
it just
You
seems
know
to be
exactly what it is.
yeah. It's just a few stripes, but it's very effective. I mean, at a distance, it looks perfect. Okay, and a few little tools thrown in a scatter.
Yeah. Great shovel and rope. Wonderful.
There we go. With the whole
Uh-huh.
scene here.
Another background. That's really wonderful.
Yeah. I should really do one of those, but yeah.
And that might be a challenge, background challenge.
Oh, look, there's a cart here as well. Or a wagon or
Oh,
something, I guess.
nice.
More wood piles. One thing I really like about this is that there's so much scatter terrain in there. It's like it's super configurable.
Absolutely. And the trees are even playable to a point. You can stick something up in some of those trees.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if he uses Fimo. Definitely some kind of two-part epoch. Sorry. It's that stuff you have to bake in an oven to harden.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not air dry, but I know what you're talking about. I don't think I've heard of Fimo.
Fimo is one of those uh, heat hardening epoxies.
Oh, okay.
And if it's the one I'm thinking about, you can get it in different colors. So, for example, the pumpkins, if I remember correctly, he used for the pumpkins he used the orange stuff, for example. So he didn't even have to paint it.
Oh, I didn't know there was an orange one.
Yeah, they come in all sorts of colors. If it's the one I'm thinking about, there are definitely differently colored epoxies.
I like the stone. I'm wondering on the far left, I'm wondering if that's just layers of cardboard. Sort of
Stone
like the
on.
stone mountain. Yeah, right on the very far left, yeah. Or if that's um
I believe that's.
or if that's foam
I
that's
believe
been
that's.
carved.
I believe that's carved foam.
Okay, okay.
I didn't even realize that the well was whitewashed because, like, literally from again, it's a very simple paint job, but when you've got everything else around it, it really hides it.
Everything comes together so
Yeah.
well. Even the sack over the over the crate.
Oh yeah. Lots of small details, but yeah, it gives you stuff to explore with yours. So yeah, this is some beautiful stuff. Oh no, okay. So Sophie's saying theme also comes in transparent, translucent, glitter, and metallic.
Wow.
I've made translucent mushrooms with lights in them before, but feel nice. Oh, okay. Sophie,
Wow.
you have to show us on the Discord at some point.
Sophie's next level, Sophie. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Across.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That is a good one. That is good.
Okay, so let's see. So that was some great work by Crafts. And now from Earthman Brick. Oh, another pixel.
Yeah, that is a well lived in
Yeah,
style. That
super grungy,
yeah,
as it should be.
absolutely. One of those are 3D or minis that he had for the pigs.
I have no idea, but I don't think he 3D print stuff, but I think he might have had someone
Yeah.
3D print them for him. But yeah. Okay, you see the same bottle construction for the fences. Lots of glue in there. I don't know if this can be opened, but they even put in the details of the bolts on the hinges.
Yep, does look like it. The hinge is possible. Yeah, possible opening. Nice and grungy.
Yeah, and I don't know if I have another angle of this, but I bet that's a rib cage in there.
It does look exactly like a rib cage. Getting rid of the evidence.
Yeah, I mean, remember that most of Earthman Bricks builds of this kind are kind of post-apocalyptic and grungy and stuff like that.
Yes.
This chicken coop looks like it fits perfectly with the style.
Chickens and ducks living together.
Yeah, I told you, post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic. Better get along. Nice variety. Pigsty, the chicken coop.
Yeah, I really like the worn paint on this. Dungeon Matrons. No, Lisa, we will not be doing that.
No.
It's right down on the not to do list along with the edible terrain challenge. It's not happening.
No.
Okay, and RPG Grandma is saying, I found a plastic model kit of farmyard animals. I need the right glue, but it should match scale with my FRPG stuff. Nice.
Very cool. Raptors are so resourceful.
Yep. And yes, these are very airtables. Okay. Here we have the accessories of a carrot with a pitchfork, another wood pipe.
Yeah. With a hatchet.
Yeah.
An axe.
Wheelbarrow.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scarecrow.
Oh, those are coming, yeah. Handbills look like coir, like coconut coir.
Possibly, yeah. It's very long fiber.
Yeah.
We should be doing something like half a coconut challenge at some point, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, I think these are also sculpted, but I'm not sure what he sculpted them from.
Yeah, nice pumpkin patch.
So yeah, again,
The end
Earthman.
is,
Say again?
no, I was saying the end is saying make everything out of cheese, which I assume is a challenge idea.
Okay, and I really like the detail at the bottom of this pumpkin patch here. It's got like these little red flowers.
Yes.
It's a lovely touch.
Yes, very nice.
Okay, I believe that Hacksaw is still out at the moment. So again, let's also go through his stuff. Okay, I don't think he's been posting many videos lately, but he's got some very post-apocalyptic and Fallout inspired builds. I think for some time he was doing these refurbishments of these old plastic kits, like from the 50s and 60s, and just painting them up and grunging them up, and that was really some fantastic stuff.
That is very cool biodome.
Yeah, and
idea.
This looks really nice. I mean, I love the contrast with the colors, and then with the grungy metal outside. This is good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know if those are paper?
Paper,
The plants themselves, the pieces of paper? Or?
they look like paper.
Really cool. And even the central piece, you can see how the monitoring of the environment, you can see how that would work. That's really nice.
Yeah. It's a really straightforward thing, but it's super effective, and you can put this on a table and play around this. Basically, it's a good gaming piece.
Yeah, great concept. Wonderful concept.
Okay, what I would like to know is what the original stuff is.
Where they came from, what the original pieces were from?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dome thingy and because I suspect that the base is part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so campaign train saying there are paper plant kits one can buy. They come in a flat card, punch them out, bend to shape, and voila. Aha.
They used to have something called leg eggs where pantyhose came in.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they still do, but it was basically similar to that. So you could open it up, and it was a dome with a cover that you could that the pantyhose came in. That'd be something similar. It wasn't as shiny as those, not as clear though.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the end is saying those are laser plants, I think, by Gamers Grass. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
And
Air farm.
I mean, it would be useful. I mean, think about Spaceballs.
Could be a spore farm. You can't see it, but you know it's in there.
Like, do not get into that container.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, this I mean, I really love this. It's a super straightforward idea, but it's executed brilliantly.
Wonderful concepts, wonderful interpretations.
The one thing I would, well, I think it's difficult because it's transparent and very smooth, but figuring out some way to grunge up the not the whole surface of the glass, but just some parts of it.
Right. So the time and the environment outside has sort of affected the glass on the outside. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like even as it is, it's like this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to make a quick check, see if we missed anyone. Yeah, I think we covered everyone. Hey, I mean,
So. A farm, Julius Spaceballs.
okay, craft-wise, I miss legs, eggs. By the way, I apologize if any explosions are coming through. Everything is okay. Nothing is being damaged.
Yeah, yeah. I can't hear anything.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're having the traditional explosions for Jesus this week. It's driving me crazy. Trying to remember I saw those don't condemn. I'm sure it will come to you, Lisa.
Absolutely.
Okay. But yeah, so yeah, I think we can wrap up for today. Kim, thanks for staying on and discussing these builds.
No, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much, Karl, for the challenges. Thank you, everybody, for all your good comments and supporting each other. And I will disconnect. Thank you, Karl.
Okay, you take care now. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You too.
Okay, I mean, like, the builds today were something else. I really loved all of them. This has been a really inspiring live stream. Yeah, the projects were amazing, and I mean, they're always good. But I was amazed at how much everyone piled into it this time. So yeah, I'm hopeful for the next one. Remember, the next one is urban stuff, and yeah, that's what we can come up with. So let's see. There will not be a stream next week, but there will be one on the 31st August, which is the week after that, Sunday after that. And we've got some old guests and new guests, so yeah, that should be fun. Thank you all, and I hope you'll have a fantastic week. Edible functional gates, right? Okay, tell you what. If you can make edible functional gates, you are welcome to make them. It's like we're not going to get you to be quiet, otherwise. Okay, thank you all again for hanging out and for your submissions. That again, really super amazing stuff, and it was a pleasure to see them all. With that, thank you very much, and have a fantastic week. Bye.